Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here at the Zakk in Düsseldorf, and besides me is Andy from the band Therapy. Hi, first of all.
Hi, yeah.
Hi. Andy, people should know you. You are singer frontman of one of the, for me, the coolest 90s rock bands
Thank you.
that active till now. I know you're on the Troublegum 30 tour. This means it's the 30th anniversary of your Troublegum album. So maybe first of all, can you tell me, you have been in England and Ireland, I think, have done the Bush part.
Yeah.
What have been the highlights so far?
Well, there's been quite a few highlights. We played a country called the Isle of Man, which is a
cool.
small island of the northwest of England, which we'd never been to before, which is fantastic. Then we went to Finland, and Helsinki and Tampere were amazing. Like packed, both sold out, big venues. And then we went to Ireland. Now we went to the north and south of Ireland. We were from Belfast. And we sold a really iconic venue called the Ulster Hall, which holds many people, but in advance. And we were nervous because it was a big deal for us, but it was perfect. All our friends and family were there. The show was magnificent. And then Neil lives in the East Midlands, so we played in Nottingham in the UK. 2,000 people sold out. It was incredible. We had a fantastic show in Manchester, and then the last show was in London. 2,500 people at Shimba. So the whole there wasn't one bad show on the whole Finnish, Irish, Isle of Man, UK tour. They were all amazing, but they were the highlights for us between Nottingham, London, and Belfast.
Now you're going here to continental Europe. I think this is the first show of this leg.
It is, yeah. And we're in Düsseldorf, and we like Düsseldorf a lot. We've been here many years. We have a lot of friends here, and the gigs sold out in advance, so we're very excited to be starting here.
Yeah, there are many. I think almost all shows are sold out so far. Some in December are not yet.
Yeah, I think there's one in Leipzig, and I think Leipzig, Luxembourg, and I think two in Switzerland. But the ticket sales are very good for those places. So
probably they will get sold out as well.
I hope so, but it's been really good. Great.
I think so. And it's, as I mentioned, it's the Troublegum 30 tour, so it's the 30th anniversary of Troublegum, and I think it's one of your most important albums so in the whole career, or how would you describe it?
Oh no, it would be, because I think probably without Troublegum we wouldn't be having a talk today, because we were talking earlier that when the album Nurse was out in 1992, we played in Germany, and we were playing to maybe 50, 100 people, and we thought this was great. We'd never been to Germany before. But that changed when Troublegum came out. The venues got bigger, the records were played on the radio. We were on the cover of magazines in Germany. So that changed everything. And it went from being a band that were here to a band that were there within 6 months. So it was, we didn't know, we thought it would be a little step. All our albums from our first albums took little steps, but Troublegum took a big step, a lot more than we thought. So yeah, it's probably, it is our most famous album. It's the one that if you ever ask any rock fan anywhere in the world, if you do know an Irish band called Therapy, they'll go Troublegum. I mean, I was in Austin earlier in the year. We played a gig in Austin, Texas, and I went to buy a taco off a guy at a van. Like we spent a week there just to have a holiday, and a guy kind of went to me in Austin, he went, "You look familiar," and I went, "Really?" And he went, "Yeah," and he went, "Troublegum, right?"
That's cool.
Yeah.
After all those years.
After all those years, yeah.
Recognize, yeah, cool. And when you remember back then, recording Troublegum, for example, what are the things that you always will keep in mind from the studio, from the songwriting?
Well, the songwriting I remember because it happened very quickly. Because Therapy previously took a lot of time writing songs before, so we would think about all the very early Therapy stuff. We would take a long time to write songs, but with Troublegum, once we started writing it, it happened really quickly. And then we went into studio. We were always on tour, so I remember we did Troublegum in 4 different sessions, and that was really good because it gave us time in between. So we would record 4 songs, go and do some shows, come back to another 4 songs. And that meant that we weren't just, a lot of bands when they record an album go maybe in the studio for 2 months and they're exhausted. Yeah, but I remember it was really good fun. We got on very well with Chris Sheldon, the producer. And I think because the band, we were a lot younger, it was exciting because we knew that we'd already released Scream Major and Turn and the audience liked them, and we had more songs like that. And we're just really happy to be in the studio.
And I think 30 years ago, you have been, for sure, you have been younger, and I think many of the songs are about being teenager or 10, like Scream Asia, for example. So looking back 30 years now, is it still that you connect to those songs, that they mean something to you besides being cool songs?
Yeah, they mean something different now, but they still mean, I think a lot of the songs are about feeling different from everybody else. Now, a song like Scream Asia, when it was written about a young me. But nowadays, I still feel different from a lot of people in the world. And it might not be a teenager. And I think most people in life do. I think we're very lucky that we have this band to express that. So, like, nobody gets to 30 years of age and already thinks life's wonderful. Nobody does. That's why people go through awful divorces. That's why people get into fights in bars. That's why there's warfare across the world. If everyone got to 30 years of age and went, I'm an adult now, everything's all right, then we wouldn't have any war. We wouldn't have any hunger, we wouldn't have any homelessness. So I think what people take out of these songs now is that, yeah, I might be angry. I might not be angry and not being popular in school anymore, but I'm certainly angry because I hate my boss. So they take on a different meaning as you get older.
Like, for example, Trigger Inside, I've seen this about the serial killer Dahmer. This is his name. And for me, for example, I even have connected with it and read the lyrics, and I thought about it's also somehow about, or I could interpret it somehow about people getting radical, getting terrorists, for example. It's a little bit similar.
Yeah, well, it's about anger. It's about how anger manifests itself. It's like the song was written about Jeffrey Dahmer because I read in The Shrine of Jeffrey Dahmer, the book, that his psychologist traced it all back to rejection. And he had a teacher he liked at school, and he used to bring his teacher some fruit every day when he was a young child. And one day he stayed in the classroom for a little bit, and as he looked around, the teacher went, "Thank you, Jeffrey," and she put the fruit in the garbage can.
Okay.
And he never forgot that. He thought that he had given something special to someone that liked him, and she just thought it was garbage. Sorry. So that, and it's how people can just flip. The trigger can go on some people. I mean, you can also look at it, if you don't look at it like terrorism, you can also look at it like somebody that is in a situation at their workplace that completely loses it with their boss, or somebody that's maybe had enough of being demonized. And it's a song about anger, how quickly anger turns human beings, and just how the trigger can be scarily flippant.
I think for everyone, for different reasons. So.
Yeah.
And we can't talk about every song, but one song is outstanding because it's a cover. It's Isolation. So I have to ask, what meaning did Joy Division have back then for you, and how did it change, or is it even the same nowadays?
Well, Joy Division was the first band. There were two bands that I discovered. So I was really into punk. Punk happened when I was 11 years of age. And there was guys at school that were older than me that had punk haircuts, and I was fascinated by them. So I had Never Mind the Bollocks, I had Buzzcocks records, I had The Damned, The Clash, Ramones, all the punk records. I went on a trip to Germany when I was young. And I stayed with some people in Dorsten outside Cologne. And they said there's a really good band called The Upright Citizens, Bombs of Peace, and I really like them. And then whenever I went home, I started playing guitar. And then I played bass guitar. And I heard two bands, The Stranglers and Joy Division. And they changed my mind. Now, Joy Division was, at this point in time, when you're 11, 12, you've got all this energy, and punk music was great. And it got me playing the guitar. But then I began to feel existential issues, like alienation and isolation, and Joy Division was perfect. Now, I lived in I don't know the German, but a council estate, a big housing block with people that rented couldn't afford the houses. That's where we lived, and everything was grey. In the north of Ireland, it was always cold and rainy. Someone said to me, "You might like this Joy Division album at school." I brought it home, and the soundtrack was perfect. And rather than make me depressed, I felt as if I wasn't alone. So Joy Division, for about 2 years, was my Joy Division and Stranglers were the two bands that I listened to non-stop.
Did you ever have the chance to see them live, or did he die before?
No, well, never saw them live. I mean, I was still living in Ireland. They never played Ireland. And I remember the day at school. I actually remember the name of the guy that told me. His name was Neil McConnell. And I walked into my history class, and as we were walking in, he went, "You like Joy Division, don't you?" And I went, "Yeah, yeah." And he went, "You do know Ian Curtis is dead?" And I was devastated.
But Stranglers you probably have seen.
So, well, I've heard of Stranglers. We did a tour in the UK, yeah. And I was like, I mean, someone our age went, "There's a band. I don't know if you like them or not. They would like you to open for them. They call it Strang." And it's before he got says, "Yep, we'll do it." And yeah, they were great guys.
Great, great. And in the summary, we have played some shows now, and you probably played the whole album of the tour.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we played the whole album.
So from these days, which is the coolest song to play live? Which is the song that makes most fun for you?
There's one on the album called Hellbelly, which whenever we did, I quite liked it. It's about people in the north of Ireland that use religion to get what they want, and they don't actually believe in the religion they deal, and it's like that. And I quite like the riff on it. I was trying to write a riff that was a mix between Black Flag and Pixies. And we didn't really, I don't know why, we never played it live much because we would play Scream Age or Nowhere. I never played Hellbelly. But on this tour, it's been going down really well, and I love playing it. It's really, really nice to play on the guitar, and it's got a really stomping beat, and the crowd like it. So that's the one that I've really got into.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to see it.
Thank you.
On your show.
Thank you.
Totally looking forward to your show, and I'll take some pictures then. Now we'll come to an end. I have to ask because the tour is going, I think, till December. Is there more?
December the 12th, yes.
And so I can ask, what is coming 2025? Are there plans already?
Well, we've already written some songs. We've already committed to many festivals next summer all over Europe. And the idea will probably be that we spend from January until maybe March writing and recording new songs. And if we don't record them, we'll finish writing them and probably record them after the summer. I don't think there's any point releasing the album next year because we have a couple of old things we might want to reissue. Some old records that might be getting a reissue deluxe treatment. But we will be. The idea is that lots of festivals, maybe some shows in places that we didn't go on this Troublegum tour, and then release a new album early 2026. But if you ask me, like in say 3 months' time, I would say all the songs for the album will be written.
Okay, great. And last thing, do you have something free, some greetings or message for audience?
Everyone out there watching this, thank you very much for all your support. And everyone out there, these are difficult and dark times, and for people to come and see Therapy to play, we really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for the nice talk. People outside, Therapy, great band. Check them out if you don't know already. I probably know. And I say bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye.